Dear witches and wizards, welcome to this new Hogwarts Legacy video. Today I've got some hopefully invaluable tips and tricks for your journey through Hogwarts Legacy that will significantly ease your life both in and around Hogwarts. In this video we're not only going to talk about the Room of Requirement, but also about your broomstick upgrades, bandit camps, your armor and mods. Additionally, I'll be sharing some important information on side missions and talent points that could play a vital role as you progress further through the game. If you enjoyed this video, please consider smashing that like button as it helps the channel grow so much. And be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for even more magical content about Hogwarts Legacy. But first, let's talk about your equipment. At the beginning of the game, I highly recommend solving as many Merlin puzzles as you can. By completing the Merlin challenge, you get new slots for your inventory. That means you can store more equipment in your inventory and carry it with you. Check out my recent video on how to solve all 9 Merlin trials. Having more space for your gear means you will get to keep more items stashed, and in return you'll be able to sell more items. Especially at the beginning of the game, selling equipment will be your main source of income. I recommend selling any gear that is below your current level, everything with worse stats than the gear you have equipped. And every time you get something with better stats than your currently equipped gear, I would equip the new gear and sell the old stuff. It doesn't matter if you just have something legendary equipped and then put on something epic or even just rare. In the lower levels, up to round about level 25, I would recommend always equipping the items with the better attack and defense value. You can then sell the rest and buy some lovely upgrades, such as for your Room of Requirement. The Room of Requirement is in fact one of the things I would spend the most money on at the beginning. You can buy all the conjuration spells you need for the Room of Requirement in Hogsmeade, such as the conjuration spells that summon plant pots for herbs for brewing potions. I believe that's where most of your money should go early on. I would actually recommend starting with something very expensive, buying the potting table with 2 large pots, because in the large pots you can not only grow large plants but also medium and small ones. So you will be able to grow any of the plants in just the large pots. Another conjuration spell that isn't quite cheap but really worth it early on is the chopping station conjuration. You can put 3 of them in the Room of Requirement, and every 10 minutes you randomly get some herb you can pick up from the chopping board. After that it continues to chop automatically and you get the next 3 herbs. You'll be able to brew your own potions or use some mandrakes or chomping cabbages in no time. And for brewing potions, I wouldn't buy any of the new stations at the beginning because you already have a spell that allows you to place a single pot station. Instead, spend your money on the hopping pot conjuration. You can conjure it 3 times in total and it randomly produces potions for you. So every 10 minutes again, you can collect 3 different potions. And if you visit the Room of Requirement regularly in your next few hours of gameplay, you'll be quickly capped for your potions, which is like 12 per slot. I've also seen many players putting up material refiners to collect some moonstone early on in the game. I personally wouldn't recommend doing that. I only bought them very late because firstly you can find enough moonstone in the open world. Just explore the open world a bit and shoot all the moonstone you happen to stumble upon at every corner, then you should have enough. And if you still need some more desperately, you can just remove everything from the Room of Requirement. Just use Evanesco, the removal transfiguration spell, to remove all the pictures and furniture in the room, and you'll get plenty of moonstone in return. With this little trick, you'll be able to conjure everything important early into your adventure. If you're looking to expand the Room of Requirement and make some serious progress, I highly recommend completing Deek's questline. This will propel your progress in the Room of Requirement and enable you to unlock various vivariums for your magical creatures, as well as some fantastic upgrades for the room itself. This quest is definitely worth the time and effort. Another exciting quest is sure to get your broomstick revved up and ready to fly. You'll get this quest once you picked up your first broomstick at the sports equipment store in Hogsmeade. Once you have your broomstick in hand, you'll be tasked with completing a series of races, first at the Quidditch pitch in Hogwarts and then at 2 other locations. It's not only about winning those races, it's also about gathering vital information that you can bring back to the sports equipment store. Because every time you complete a race and share your findings, you'll be rewarded with the opportunity to upgrade your broomstick. And let me tell you, these upgrades are no joke. Your broomstick will become faster, more agile, and all around more enjoyable to fly. This means that traversing the open world will be a breeze and you'll be able to explore even more of the wizarding world than ever before. As you probably know already, there is more to this game than just the Room of Requirement and Hogwarts itself. The open world is where the real adventure awaits, with all sorts of secrets to uncover, including the famed Merlin trials we mentioned earlier. But let me tell you, one thing you don't want to miss out on are the bandit camps scattered all around the map. These camps are teeming with fights of varying difficulty and plenty of gear to loot as well. But what makes them really special is the treasure chests that lie at their heart, always containing mods that can give your armor a real boost. And I ain't just talking about any old mods, my fellow witches and wizards. These enhancements can really pack a punch. And the best part? You can find even the strongest of them in any of the camps, big or small. Even those small camps up north can have mods as powerful as the big enemy castles in the southern part of the map. So if you want to get the most out of your armor, I'd recommend clearing out those northern regions early on and getting your hands on those mods before the bigger battles start. Trust me, it'll make a real difference in the long run. Now, don't go ahead and start slotting those mods in as soon as you get them though. That would definitely be a waste of resources. You'll be swapping armor left and right at the beginning, so wait until you've reached level 25 or even 30 before starting to upgrade and slot those mods. That's when you'll start to see some real benefit and when it'll be worth spending those precious resources. I myself waited until I was around level 26 or 27 before starting to upgrade my armor. As soon as level progression slows down significantly, it's time to start upgrading stuff. Trust me, you'll know when the time is right. And another very important aspect to keep in mind is that the game's level cap is at 40. This also means you won't be able to unlock all the talent points at your disposal, so you'll need to think carefully about how you want to build your current character and which skills you want to prioritize. It's a good idea to consider your gameplay style when making these choices. Do you like to use magic spells often? Are you into dark magic? Do you prefer to sneak up on enemies or use potions and magical plants? All of these factors will play a role in how you want to develop your character and which of the 12 talents will remain unused during your current playthrough. In fact, there are 5 different categories of talents to choose from, and each offers strong and useful options. Whether you prefer to focus on spellcasting, potions or stealth, there's a talent tree that can help you get there. Personally, I'm not too big on sneaking around or using potions or magical plants, so I didn't spend any points on my Room of Requirement, and I only invested 1 point to make it harder for enemies to detect me while I'm invisible. All in all, there's a lot to discover in Hogwarts Legacy, and it's up to you to decide how you want to tackle endgame and shape your character and playstyle. But that's a wrap for this video. I hope my tips helped you to get the most out of your adventure in Hogwarts. If so, a big thumbs up would be greatly appreciated, and if you want to check out my last video, it's right here on the screen. I wish you all an awesome day, and I'll be catching you in the next one.